the sword that refused to kill. You ever heard of a sword that was too kind to kill? No? Lean closer, because this isn't just a story, it's a warning, a hope, a heartbreak, and a miracle. And trust me, by the end, you'll believe magic has a heart too. Oh, and hey, if you love stories that feel alive, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, you beautiful soul. Now, let's begin. In the forgotten kingdom of Avareth, where twilight spilled like wine across silver fields, there lived a blacksmith named Elior. And Elior was not like the others. He forged swords that whispered dreams into the ears of kings, axes that roared like lions when swung. But the masterpiece, the one creation that would seal his name into legend, was a sword he forged one rainy night, under a blood-red moon. Its name was Seraphine. Seraphine gleamed. No, she glowed with a light that danced and wept, as if the stars themselves had poured into her steel. Elior held her in his hands, his heart pounding, barely breathing. "This," he whispered, voice thick with awe, "is no ordinary blade." And when the time came when war drums thundered and the king demanded Elior's masterpiece be sent to the battlefield, Seraphine refused to kill. Swordsmen screamed in rage, their strikes falling soft, wounds closed instead of opening. Enemies stood confused, blinking, untouched. In a world drunk on bloodshed, Seraphine was mercy itself. Not far from Elior's forge lived a prince named Salem. Oh, Calum. He was everything a hero wasn't supposed to be. He laughed too much, cried at sunsets. Once he even rescued a spider from his suit because it looked lost. The court called him soft. The generals called him useless. But destiny loves the soft-hearted. Because when betrayal poisoned the kingdom, when black banners of war rose like smoke across the hills, it wasn't the hardened generals who stood tall. It was Calum, clutching a blade that would not kill, a boy who refused to hate. The battlefield groaned under a blood-red sky, flags torn, earth scorched black. The enemy general Vardis the Red towered like a nightmare given flesh. When Calum stood before him, small, unarmored, clutching a glowing sword, Vardis sneered. "You come to die, little prince?" Calum shook his head, voice steady despite the storm around him. "I come to save you." Vardis laughed, a harsh, broken sound that cracked the heavens. "Then fight me." Calum closed his eyes. He swung Seraphine, and Seraphine sang. Not a song of death, but a song of remembrance. The enemy soldiers dropped their weapons, stunned, clutching at sudden memories. Mothers smiling, brothers laughing, fathers lifting them high under golden suns. Tears carved paths down blood-stained cheeks. Vardis roared, striking again and again, fury blinding him. But Seraphine only grew brighter, weaving a shield of shimmering light. And at last, Vardis fell to his knees, not dead, alive, remembering. When the dust settled, when the sun bled gold over the ruined fields, Selim was not hailed as a conqueror, he was hailed as a savior. Among those who came to him, shy, wary, was a healer named Lyra. Lyra, she had hair like woven fire and a laugh that could chase away nightmares. When their eyes met across the wreckage, when her hands brushed his as she tended his wounds, even Seraphine hummed with happiness. They spoke long into the nights, under a sky stitched with stars, of broken dreams, of hope, of what it meant to heal instead of destroy. Love, real love, the kind that grew not from fairy tales, but from scars and truth, bloomed quietly between them. But peace. Peace is a fragile thing. Whispers came, dark ones. A sorcerer, Morvain, one who had heard of the sword that refused to kill, and hungered to twist it for his own black purpose. One night, under a sky bruised with storms, Seraphine was stolen. Calum awoke with a start, heart hammering in his chest. "Lyra," he gasped. "Seraphine is gone." Lyra's hands shook as she gripped his. "We'll get her back," she said fiercely, though tears sparkled in her eyes. Together, they rode into the jaws of nightmare. Morvain's lair wasn't a castle. It was a wound, a festering, breathing thing. Thorns taller than towers clawed at the sky. The air itself shuddered, heavy with sorrow. Inside, Seraphine hung suspended in chains of shadow, her light flickering, fading. Calum charged through the corridors, each step a battle against fear. And there, at the heart of the darkness, stood Morvain. "You seek your precious mercy?" Morvain spat, hatred dripping from every word. "Mercy has no place here." Calum drew his dagger, small, insignificant. But his heart was a roaring flame. Maybe mercy, he said, voice rising with every heartbeat, is stronger than you ever were. He hurled the dagger. It struck the chains. Seraphine awoke. Light exploded, fierce and blinding. The ground buckled. The castle shrieked. Seraphine flew into Selim's grasp, her light burning away the darkness. Morvain shrieked, weaving nightmares and poison. But Seraphine only shone, not a weapon, a beacon. Morvain stumbled, fell to his knees, broken not by death, but by memory. He wept, for the boy he had once been, for the heart he had buried. The thorns withered, the skies wept clean, and Selim, clutching Lyra close, whispered through tears, "It's over." Years passed like falling leaves. Peace grew wild and stubborn like the flowers Lyra planted outside their cottage. On the eve of their wedding, Selim climbed a silver hill. Seraphine rested in his arms. He knelt, pressing a kiss to the blade's hilt. "You saved me more than I ever saved you," he said, voice thick with tears. The wind answered, warm and sweet, and Seraphine, beautiful, merciful Seraphine, dissolved into starlight, her duty complete. And they lived, not perfectly, not without sorrow, but bravely, kindly, together,